Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the fourth episode of Isekai Quartet. Now, last episode, we had Tanya that didn't seem to be super happy with Ein Zoel Gon. Kind of reminded her a little bit too much of BNX for her liking. We also had, I think Beatrice complained to the teacher. That was a thing as well. But the bigger things were, of course, that Albedo was who it was. I almost said Sheltier. Albedo became best friends with Rem. That that was probably the biggest thing of the episode. That's something I never thought I would see in my life, and yet it happened right in front of me. It's pretty crazy. But also, we had talk about talent show. Assume we'll expand on that in this episode. To actually do the talent show that was discussed there between Subaru and the other ReZero characters, and of course, probably also touch back up on the whole Tanya Ainz thing because they did leave together, much to Albedo's dismay. So let's get into it and see how all that how all that goes. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. Looks like we have our epic standoff. Yeah, she does that. Kind of her. That's kind of her thing. Yeah, would never be afraid of a little girl. Even if she used to be a Japanese salary man. Who has a scarier aura? That's the question. Okay, yeah, maybe we're underestimating her a little bit. Just confusion. Uh, I don't think he knows who BNX is. So it might be a bit of an awkward discussion. Oh, Kazuma. Ainz just been having a rough time, hasn't he? First he had that confrontation with Aqua to try to, exercise him. And now he's just Tanya trying to beat him up. It's just really not been a good trip for him. Uh, Darkness has not had enough screen time. Neither has Megaman. Need to remedy that. Isekai Quartet, the song says it. Encounter classmates. So, well then. Yeah, nobody else would possibly have such a existence. But you didn't even like that other world, so you should be happy to be here. She is. I think she's not handling this well. Well, that's nothing new for her. Of course not. She's like a human. Not sure that's true. Yeah, these two. Man, these two. It's so weird. It's so great, but so weird. We're discussing important matters here. Fast and wait. Well, I mean, yeah. They both went to a different world in a very different form. I know, right? His life definitely improved because, he's now voiced by Yuki Aoi. I mean, everyone there is from another world. That's kind of the gimmick. Well then, I guess we turned that around and became friends pretty quickly. Didn't not wait very long for that at all. What are you gonna go do? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, she would be worried about Tanya, wouldn't she? Never mind. Kind of blanked on that. So we are still talking about the talent show. Oh, cuteness, what are you? It's a bonding exercise, to get closer to your classmates. It's because Roswell said so. That's a good answer too. That's that was an adequate impression. She can't be helped. You can't argue with that. Oh, you found me. Speaking around a corner. Yeah, what's up? Just hanging out with my new skeleton friend? Well, you know, designs want to come along for that. But it's better than the war world you're from, isn't it? Well, yes. I just heard Yuki always say Ein soll gone. This is a very special anime that I'm going to miss dearly when it's gone. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she appreciated that at all. That did look a little bit too much like a day for her liking, probably. Yes, gotta stay in theme. It did happen sometimes. She made a new friend. What's your problem? That's even weirder, having him do say that like a student. It's just this. Wow. Rem. So they're running to school late. It's really cute run she has going on there. I'm sure she can. Oh wow. What to say? Yeah, she can run a lot faster than you. Oh. Uh. Wow. Did you have to whip that thing out? I think some of us may have PTSD from that weapon. uh. You could just carry him the other way. Oh. I guess darkness again is screen time after all. At least he gets to be front first. No, he has a lot less pride than Subaru does. Well then, this is awkward. Of course, we all know Rem just want to have Subaru's butt by her face. That's a real reason for that decision. Yeah, they could be friends. Yeah, might want to get in there before the gate closes. Well then. I was wondering where he went. He just tried to cheat. Uh, well, maybe you should have had them carry you all the way, all the way there. Hi, Cosmodes. Okay. Well, yes, that's something you have in common. Same difference, really. You two had very similar beginnings. Yes. Well, Subaru can come back from the dead, that's what he's got. The bonding is real. Yeah, not great, but at least you have Megumin. Well, darkness is still provides plenty of entertainment value. Makes you feel any better. Subaru's died more than you have. Uh, yeah, things did turn around for you pretty well. Yeah, that does sound a lot better than what Kazuma has. And she's killed him at least once. uh, I think Kazuma might be getting upset here. I think we may have a disagreement here about how hard you have it. Uh, like I said, he dies a lot. Wow. You have a harem too. You're just this is not great. Uh, I mean, it really doesn't matter that much whether you were summoned or reincarnated. You're not going back home anytime soon, regardless. But yeah, that was an interesting conversation for sure. I never really thought about it too much because I usually only think about the fact that Subaru dies a lot and has to watch people he cares about die, you know? So I usually associate Subaru with suffering more so than Kazuma because of those reasons. But if you lay it out like that, yeah, Subaru lives in a mansion with, the beautiful half-elf girl that he likes him too. A pair of beautiful twins, one of which definitely likes him, and the other one teases him, and a lolly librarian girl. I mean, it's not that bad but not that bad of a life if you take away all the dying and stuff. Meanwhile, Kazuma living in a stable, laying on hay with Aqua. Although he eventually got a mansion too. So his situation is not that much worse than Subaru's, really. Okay. That was the fourth episode of Isekai Quartet. And this was probably the best episode of the show, most likely. The first thing we really had was our Tanya Pine stuff. Which obviously we knew we would get that because of the way the previous episode ended. And the misunderstanding that Tanya had continued for a bit about Ainz being X. Because Tanya just kind of ended up in this new world out of nowhere. Again, like the second time, like most of the people here. And she sees some big, scary skeleton dude with a evil aura around him and quite a bit of presence and power. And she's like, hey, this must be BNX, Why not? Can't argue with that logic. But he manages to clear up the misunderstanding at some point, and they kind of just talk to each other and bond. There was a lot of bond in this episode. But especially when they realized they had similar beginnings, like Tanya may be a little girl voiced by Yuki Aoi now, but back in the day, she was a cutthroat Japanese salaryman, which is not that different than what Ein started as. I don't think we got too much on what he was before he went into Yggdrasil, but, we know he had a job and was probably around the same age as Tanya back then. The only real difference was Ainz was a gamer, of course, and I don't think, Tanya was at all. At least, I don't think we saw any of that. The point is, they had similar backstories, so they were able to kind of connect on that basis, which is cool. People were a little worried about what's happening, Tanya's friend Victoria, I want to say her name is, and Albedo both came over, and they got here, things had already settled down. They were talking on the bench, having a good time, and yeah, that pretty much ended as well and peacefully as it possibly could have. Albedo wasn't a big fan of it regardless, because she's aware of how just amazingly attractive Ainz is, and how all girls would just throw themselves at him, and he might be tempted by one of them. That's clearly a big concern that she has, even though I think she kind of shouldn't be as concerned as she is. But we are also continuing with our Rem and Albedo friendship, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love that. You know, I kind of want to see, Rem become friends with Megumin, just because I love both those characters a lot. So I want to see them hug, once. That'd be cool. That's something I would like. And that's something I don't think I've mentioned yet. There's other things I want to, but I've already said those things to Dad, so I'm not gonna repeat myself on that. But let's see. Oh yeah, we brought up the talent show again, so we're still building towards that. Maybe that'll be next episode. Maybe we're building it up to be like a far, far off season finale thing, maybe. Although I doubt it. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal, but we have quite a bit of build up to it. We mentioned it in this episode and didn't do it at all. So hopefully whenever they do it, hopefully they can really deliver on it, because there's a lot of potential for creativity and fun there. Akba would do her nature's beauty thing. That's what she does. And yeah, I can't really guess what anyone else would do. Megami would do an explosion, I guess. But she'd have to find a good spot to do that where she doesn't destroy the school. So it might be a little bit tricky to do for the talent show. And yeah, it's so silly seeing some of these characters act like students, For some people it seems normal, like Subaru and Kazuma, characters like that. It seems completely normal that they walk to school, through the gate, say hello sensei, good morning to you. But then you see characters like, Ain's doing that. It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know if I could fully get used to such a thing. But yeah, we had some characters running late from school, and Rem, I just loved Rem's run. It was so cute. It was great. And we decided that things were going too slowly, so she just picks up Subaru to carry him, which makes sense. She's stronger and faster than Subaru, like a lot. And then, that was kind of funny, but then it was even funnier when we looked back and we saw Darkness doing the same thing for Kazuma. Just kind of, giving a quick little peek about how similar Kazuma and Subaru situations are. And they are quite similar, Konosuba and Re:Zero have been compared to each other a lot. With the biggest difference, of course, being the tone of the show. Is Konosuba being much more lighthearted comedy, and Re:Zero being much more, dark and depressing and brutal, But aside from that, yeah, they're very similar shows. They both got sent to a parallel world, and they both had a worse time than they were expecting. They both had expectations that weren't really met. Because you had Subaru who went to the world and was like, "Hey, so where's my main heroine that summoned me? Where's my special gear? Oh, someone's in trouble. I used some magic to help them. Oh, nothing came out. This is not going how I expected. Okay, where do I go from here?" And then you have Kazuma that was supposed to get some really cool, powerful ability, but he made a mistake and they took a useless goddess with him instead, which I don't blame him for that decision. I mean, considering what he knew, taking her seemed like a good idea, but then he realized exactly what Aqua was and realized that was a mistake. But yeah, that's enough on that subject. Anyway, they were running to school, and Kazuma had the better deal though, because he got to be face first, whereas Subaru was the opposite. But they eventually all got set down, and then two of them became late as a result. And it was funny when Kazuma tried to climb the wall. Subaru just accepted, okay, I guess I'm late. Oh well, that sucks. But then you pan over to Kazuma and it's climbing the wall. But he was discovered. He almost made it, but not quite. You'd think he'd be able to jump that wall easier with his, adventure skills and stuff. But no, he got caught, unfortunately. And then they got to hold buckets together and then discuss their lives together, and they decided they could be friends. They had pretty similar circumstances, although one was reincarnated and one was summoned. Although, like I said, not really that big of a difference for most isekai anime, because you're never going back home. The only real difference is that reincarnation. It leaves its opportunity to look different in the new world, like what happened with Overlord and Knights and Magic, and which is not part of the show, but thankfully, and also Yojo Senki. Shows like that, the reincarnation made a difference because they look different, but not all shows are like that. Like the smartphone anime was a reincarnation, I think, and yeah, he looked exactly the same. So really not much of a difference. Although they usually go with reincarnation because otherwise they have to come up with some sort of reason why they were summoned. Like what they did with Shield Hero. But it's just a slightly different approach. It really does not make that much of a difference. It's about as much of a difference as somebody dying from getting hit by a truck or dying from what else do isekai people die from? I guess a train. No, just like it was a train. But usually it's a truck. Like, I can't think of that many isekai reincarnation anime off the top of my head that didn't die from a truck or a vehicle of some description. That's usually what it is, because that's the most... it's the easiest to really do. But yeah, I can't really think of one off the top of my head that wasn't a vehicle. So I'll spend about 5 seconds thinking about this. No, I got nothing. That's all I can think of. If you can think of reincarnation that happened by something besides a vehicle hit, then you should let me know in the comment section below. Because I sort of count Kazuma in that, because the vehicle didn't technically hit him or kill him directly, but the vehicle was still the cause of him dying. Like, he panicked at the vehicle and all that. So I'm still going to count that as a vehicle death. So, you know, just putting that out there. But it was funny because as the conversation continued between Kazuma and Subaru, Kazuma decided that Subaru's situation was better than his, you know. He didn't have to die to get to the world, for one thing. And he immediately met the girl that he decided was his main heroine, that he likes a lot. Clearly likes him as well, although they had their ups and downs. And he lives together with her. And he has a bunch of other girls that like him as well, that live with him as well. So, you know, which a couple are included as maids, and Alali and... you know, there's other girls around that aren't really part of the harem, but they're close to him as well. But yeah, Kazuma decided he was jealous, even though Kazuma's situation is really not all that worse. I know Kazuma takes issue with his party/harem, but really not that bad. Aqua's a useless goddess and, you know, childish and a bitch, of course, but she's still pretty hot, and, you know, she has her moments, I guess, when she gets all panicky and desperate and cries and begs, you know. That's when she's at her best, in my opinion. Megumi is just amazing, you know. She's hilarious and cute and funny and adorable, and makes big booms. In Darkness, she has a very womanly body, very curvy, very stacked, if you're into that sort of thing, and is just hilarious. Darkness never fails to be entertaining, so Kazuma's always kind of sold his situation short. You know, his situation's really not all that bad, honestly. And he lives in a mansion. Like, I know he was talking about the whole stable thing, but that's in the past. He eventually gets a nice mansion, so yeah, you know, really doesn't have that much to complain about, to be honest. He dies less than Subaru does, like I said. So, you know, there's probably some isekai protagonists that are jealous of Kazuma. But that's how it goes. Although no isekai protagonist really got it as good as Ainz did, because he got like this whole big fortress and a bunch of servants and so much power to rule over the world, and was able to establish his own country. Just like, when it comes to isekai protagonists, Ainz is about as good as it gets, man. Power, everything you really want. Wealth, power, people that love him, respect, the influence. Like, he pretty much has it all. Like, aside from being a bone daddy, which I don't know if he's a big fan of that. He probably would have preferred to have his real body in that world, but that's like the only downside, and I would take that trade-off personally if it meant I got everything else that he has. But yeah, I've probably been talking way too much for a 12-minute anime episode, really. But I liked it. Like I said, one of the better episodes, definitely. Albedo's been getting a lot more screen time than Shaltir. I wonder if Shaltir is bothered by that. Megumi did not get much screen time this episode, but at least Darkness did. I guess that's something, but Megumi needs more screen time. She's had very little compared to Kazuma, Darkness, and Aqua. They have all had a lot more screen time than Megumi, I think, and that's just a travesty right there. So, we'll probably get Megumi screen time when she finally meets up with Emilia, you know, because you know it's going to happen. It's going to happen, or otherwise people will probably riot, because that's got to be a thing that fans demand. That'll probably be when we get some more, you know, some more Mega Man adventure, I guess. Anyway, good episode. I love this show. It makes me happy. I'm glad it exists. It probably shouldn't exist, but I'm glad that it does, and I hope it continues to be amazing. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.